My father was a military. He was a mechanic. He was a bus driver. He was a police officer.
So he was exceptional. Your father was exceptional.
My mother worked at Guardian Life Insurance. I'm the first person in my family to go to college, first person to graduate from college, and my parents put me through college. So I don't look at them as mediocre. I don't look at them as average. They are exceptional, and they did what they do to get their
What you
kids
said
through all
is
this
so
stuff.
different than what
And
I'm talking about.
I am the same with them. And I am the same.
That is just not intellectually honest.
And the difference is what you said is, oh, you want to encourage and you want to do this. I do the same thing without putting people down.
Ebony, what about words like average, mediocrity, typical, and the bigotry of low expectations? I think those are the words that hurt the working class.
You can sit here and say, no, I didn't hurt nobody. You hurt people out there that buy your books and follow you and support you.
You asked me to be quiet. Y'all, please. Y'all asked me to be quiet. I listened to your full statement. I understand you have a feeling about it.
22 minutes, and I just spoke for 60 seconds.
She is here to talk to us.
I know, but I'm just saying, I just spoke for 60 seconds.
We got ours off already. Let Ebony talk.
I'm just returning what she said.
Don't
act like I didn't let her speak. She spoke for 22 minutes.
Go ahead, Ebony. Let her talk. Don't do that. Let her go. Go ahead.
So, Envy, this is where we're different. My primary focus and goal when I do what I do in the world is not to protect feelings. I'm going to be candid with you. I understand it's clear from the energy that there is an emotional attack that you felt was on Black men, the working class, and Black America. I'm going to hold the space for the hurt feelings around that. But more than I care about hurt feelings, I care about providing my people with facts and information that say that the current way of life for the majority of Black Americans is not serving us. I'm going off of the data and the facts. That is, I am not okay, and I don't think it's okay, that the vast majority of Black Americans, again, overpopulate, disproportionately occupy spaces that are not ideal, that make us vulnerable. I talked about the COVID, that make us vulnerable to death, disease, maternal health, all the things that y'all all talk about in this show every day. Now, if y'all are okay with the current positioning of Black America, that we are the lowest income, the lowest home ownership, the lowest educated group, then so be it. And let's just stop talking now and keep on going about our business. Envy, I'm not okay with it. So that is why I said what I said about addressing the bigotry of low expectations. It's the bigotry of low expectations is the reason why I have to submit that Black men are now going to HBCUs and college and generally at half the rate of Black girls and women. I don't think that's okay.
Shouldn't we address the system that put us in these positions?
We are addressing the system, but first we have to name it, Charlemagne. See, that's where people's feelings are getting hurt, is the fact that I am naming it. I am saying that it is not okay to bring C's and D's through to your home and then expect to go on to higher education and acquire a higher skill set. And when you say that, that is hurtful to people, Envy. I'm acknowledging the pain. But somebody has got to start telling the truth to our people. And some of y'all wonder why you get the political representation y'all get, because some folks would rather hear things that make them feel good than understand and hear the things that are the truth. So let's talk about average, mediocre, and typical. Because a lot of people felt a way about it. Well, I looked it up. I did the service of pulling it up out of Merriam-Webster. So this is not Ebony shitting on anybody, Envy. This is simply to say when you do something average, by definition, it is of typical value. It is normal and it is standard. When you are regular, normal, acceptable. When you are mediocre, that would have people real hot. It means ordinary, medium, commonplace, and moderate.
And the bigotry, don't forget the...
This shit is not rocket science. The woman is literally doing nothing more than speaking facts. If the data does not support that working in blue-collar industries and certain mid-level industries is not collectively moving the Black family and the Black nation forward, then that's the damn facts. Do you want to know the difference between an emotional thinker and a logical thinker? An emotional thinker feels all of this shame and attack on their pride whenever they are presented with the truth about their limitations. On the flip side, a logical thinker looks at a failure or an obstacle and charts out a plan to reach the intended objective regardless. A failure does not mean a hard stop. A failure simply means that we need to reroute and reallocate our energy towards a different pathway to getting to the same objective. And then what behooves me is there's all these people talking about the nuclear family as the solution to the progression of the Black family in Western society, so that we do not remain a permanent underclass. But even in the light of that solution being the remedy that we are choosing because it's easiest, because it's default, because it sounds the best, because it feels good and it feels better, the data doesn't support it. The data does not support it. Even if we all become exceptional, right? It's still going to take a shit ton of effort and several generations for us to get out of the position that we are in. So at the end of the day, why are we sacrificing pride and emotions and people's feelings for facts, logic, truth, and proper execution of a plan? Why is it when it comes to protecting the Black man's pride, that becomes the major theme and the major priority over every single thing? It doesn't make sense. We do not have the bandwidth to continue to sacrifice our progression as a people for making sure that we don't hurt the ego and the pride of the Black man. I want to tell you something. Not for nothing, but the system intentionally underdeveloped the Black man. In that underdevelopment, he tends to remain in an adolescent emotional space well beyond his years. Well beyond his years, right? And so because he is the most dominant figure in the Black community, the Black community is essentially slowed down, whether or not it's intentional, slowed down because we have to sit and stop and make sure that we're not hurting his pride, that we're not hurting his ego, that we're not making him feel small, that we're not pointing and bringing attention to where his inadequacies are. We keep sacrificing that year after year, decade after decade as some sort of service. But at the same time, we are being held back as a people. At some point, we got to realize that the true answer to this conundrum is that whatever the fuck we think we doing, it ain't working. Period. And we need to do something else. That's it. It ain't fucking rocket science.